Welcome back to Daytime. Well, you spend time each week planning the meals that you're going to make for your family, nice healthy meals. You plan time each week to exercise so that you're physically fit. Well, how financially fit are you? We're going to find out today with a woman who should know how financially fit you are. Linda Knight joins us. She's the Chief Retirement Officer for BMO. Good to have you here.
Hey, nice to be here.
You know, you're far from retirement now, but that's what all your planning is about, and helping people get to a healthy retirement so we're all comfortable.
Exactly, exactly.
What is it, though, when we're talking finances, and Mark and I talked about it in the opening, I'm the one that pays the bills. I do all of that in my family, and yet when it comes to financial planning, there's something about it that makes me really nervous, for lack of a better word. What is it about the financial aspect of our lives that makes us feel like that?
Yeah, I know. People feel that way. Actually, BMO Financial Group did a survey of Canadian investors, and a quarter of people said they found financial planning physically painful, and they would rather go to the dentist.
So they go to their financial planner.
Yeah, exactly.
Really?
And the problem with that is if you find something physically painful, you're not going to do it. But what you do today, your savings, your investment plan is going to impact how you're going to live in retirement. So it's really important that you focus on it.
And all of us talk about that. You know, in my retirement, I want this. I want to be able to do this. I want to be able to go to these places and do these things. And yet when it comes to actually physically doing the right things to do it, we just don't get into it. So what BMO's done, you kind of equate your financial health to Canada's food guide and making financial healthy for us. So let's talk about a little bit about how you've put this all together.
Okay, great. Yeah, it's really about, and it's drawing an analogy. You have to put food groups together to get a balanced meal, like putting together different kinds of investments to get a balanced portfolio. And you have to make sure that the meal is right for you, right for your metabolism, your level of activity. So it's about matching them. Exactly. It's taking the food groups, putting them together, and matching them. And I also recommend that people talk to a financial planner too, because that's what they're going to do, help you match it up. But let's just talk about the food groups a little bit.
Let's do that. I thought we were eating here for a moment, but we're just sort of splitting this out. We're going to start
with the breads. Breads is like cash in your savings account. It's great, it's comforting, but it's not going to help your money grow that much. You really have to add other kinds of investments to get that growth. And what we've got here is lots of nice fruits and vegetables. That's what we call like fixed income investments, like GICs or bonds or bond mutual funds. Lots of great nutrients, and it really helps, this group helps to unlock the goodness in a lot of other groups. So that's why it's a really important point.
Would that be more of your sure thing, your secure kind of
the more
investments?
secure side, exactly, guaranteed investments. So we'll talk about how we balance those up later. The next one is really the meats, and meat and protein is the growth part of your portfolio. So that's like Canadian equity. So that's like investing in mutual funds that invest in Canadian companies, because that's how you're really going to get growth in your portfolio. The cheeses and dairy here, also protein, but lots of other things, calcium and vitamins. That's like international investing. So investing in stocks of companies outside Canada. Lots of growth opportunities and a real variety. You know, when you go into a cheese store and there's a million kinds of variety, that's what it is with international investing, because you get lots of opportunities.
See, what I would do, though, is sample.
That's right.
I'm a picker and a sampler. Does it work like that in
exactly. And you can put it together. Yeah, exactly. And we even have, just finish off here, we even have a little bit of dessert. You can have a little bit.
Finances?
Yeah, exactly. You can have, and not the whole plate, just one of the brownies. And what that is a specialty kind of fund, maybe precious metals or resources, or maybe you think China is going to be the biggest thing that's going to happen in the next few years. So you put a little bit of your portfolio, not more than about 5% of your portfolio. So that's why you can have a little.
Play a little bit.
Exactly.
And just say, okay, I like this, or this sounds like fun.
Have one brownie, but if you eat the whole plate, you know, you're going to be sick, right? So that's why we say have a little bit. And so what we've done here is put these food groups together into a balanced meal, and that's like matching a portfolio to your needs, and your needs really may depend on your what we call risk tolerance, which means how much you can stand the ups and downs of the market.
And that's what I've heard too. I know in our case, we can't stand it at all.
Oh, really?
We're pretty even keel. I like to be able to know exactly what's happening with everything that I'm doing and play it pretty safe. And maybe that would change through the years, you know, as you play around with it a little bit more.
Yeah.
But I think we're probably more in that even keel.
Yeah, the other part, so you've got to look at your risk tolerance, but you also have to look at your time horizon. If you have lots of time, and you're a long time from retirement, if you have lots of time, then you want to take advantage of these food groups, the protein and the growth in it. And that's why you want to put it together in a balanced, right? So you don't have to get all the huge ups and downs if you only had this, but when you bring it together in a balanced portfolio, it makes it easier.
When I guess using the food analogy again, it's like, you know, those days that you don't eat 100% and you think, I'm blowing it, that's it. But you can get right back on track the next day. Finance is the same sort of thing. You know, something sort of falls off the track at one point, or, you know, you have that bad day or bad run. You can always go back and kind of revamp it and put it all together again.
You should be talking to your financial planner. You can go to Bank of Montreal. We have financial planners and branches. It's free of charge, and you can really sit down and get the right portfolio that's right for you. We're going to go through some meals just to give an example. Over here, the soup is where we're starting.
This is the one here.
Yeah, this is what I'd call a conservative meal. So you've got your bread, so you've got some cash, and you've got a beautiful vegetable soup. You've got a little bit of protein, a little bit of dairy, just a little mixed in there, but primarily fairly conservative things. So this might be someone who's close to retirement or in retirement. They want to preserve their capital.
You need to know where your money is and how much
you want to keep your capital.
Okay.
Exactly. So these two are really balanced meals. And the key thing about those, and what's important for long-term investing, is the balance. You have a little bit of everything. You've got some nice meat there for growth. You've got your tabbouleh, your grains, and some cheese. So all that's bringing a nice portfolio together. And this one's just a little bit more aggressive. Some meat and cheese, just a little bit more focused on these growth areas.
Okay.
And this one's the big meat, and you've got your cheesecake, and that's really for a more aggressive portfolio. Someone who's maybe younger, they've got lots of time to go through the ups and downs of the market. Exactly. Even have a little cheesecake, like I said. If you're interested in China or emerging markets, you think that's going to be great, then you can add that to your portfolio.
I guess the key thing is really to sit down and talk.
Exactly.
We try to do too much of this all by ourselves, and I think that's why it's so confusing. When you can sit down and talk to somebody like yourself who knows all the in and outs, I don't have to be the expert because you are.
Exactly. I say get help from a nutritionist, but you can get it free of charge at Bank of Montreal. So it really is sitting down and finding someone who's really going to listen to you, understand where you're coming from, your knowledge level, what you want to use the money for, if it's retirement, how long that is out, and really sit down and put together the portfolio that fits you. Like you need a diet, you know, depending on how much you work out and how your metabolism is, everybody's different, right? So it's the same thing with investing. But we find this is a kind of fun way to put it together.
See, when you talk food, you're talking my language, Linda.
I know.
So now I understand. Now I get it, finally. Just a little bit of the brownie, a lot more of the vegetables and the protein.
Yeah, exactly.
See how easy it is? It can be easy, and you make it so easy. Linda Knight from BMO, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
We're going to be back in just a moment. Stay with us.